Hey everybody, Tim Norris here, aka GreyElephant.
And Carmen Norris.
And welcome to a quick review by GreyElephant Gaming. What are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about Elysium.
That's right, and this is by Space Cowboys, but was sent to us by Asmodee Games. Now, the purpose of this video is to give our opinion quick and to the point, but if you want to know more on how this game plays, what should they do?
You should watch our live play, which is right up here.
That's
and we
right.
sliced it up a bit, so you can see me play the game from my angle and from Tim's angle. I think you'll enjoy it.
And the top angle, God's angle. That must be God's angle, looking down on us.
Oh.
Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, so if you're not familiar with this, we always like to write down our thoughts like we're news reporters, like there's something special. We're giving you the...
We are special.
You are first.
I am first. In Elysium, you are building a domain in which you can use the actions of your cards in order to help you out during the game or receive victory points during the game. And you are also building an Elysium in which you move the cards down from your domain, and this consists of collecting sets or legends of either families or levels for in-game victory points.
That's right. And the artwork in this game is absolutely gorgeous, just out of this world beautiful. I just cannot even stress it enough. Just, they did a fabulous job. But I want to point out something else, and I don't normally do this, okay? But the inserts in this game, man, that's a work of art in itself. I mean, everything fits so nice in this box. I just absolutely love it. More publishers could take note from this. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, the game consists, it's about Greek gods and goddesses and heroes and quests, but don't be fooled in thinking that this game is dripping with theme. Because, in fact, I would say that it's a bit void of theme, even though I am glad that they went with Greek mythology, because at least that is something that I'm fascinated with.
Yeah, I think that they could probably drop the theme and still have the same
I'd
game,
be the same
to be
game.
honest.
It really would.
But I do enjoy the Greek gods and goddesses in it, I have to admit. Now, it does involve some resource management, because you have to pay gold in order to move your cards down from your domain into your Elysium. If you do not move them down into your Elysium by the end of the game, they won't be included in any legends and you won't score any points for them.
Yes, and gold is very important. I will admit to that. But you have to be able to obtain the cards and place them in your domain in the first place.
Yeah.
And to be able to do that, you'll have to pay close attention to which columns you have on your player board. Because you can only obtain a quest or a card as long as you have the matching colored column on your player board. Now, this is really where the rubber meets the road, because making a mistake can cost you some serious gold or VP.
It really can. There are several powers on the cards that can be used during either the action phase or the transfer phase. And some powers are consistent or permanent, some are instant, and others are one-shot deals in which you can use them at some point during the game, just once. So, you know, the struggle can be trying to decide, do I want to move these cards down into my Elysium? I mean, you can only move so many cards per turn, so you're going to have to get that done. Or do I want to leave them up there so that I can try to get more, you know, victory points or gold, whatever the action is during the game?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but if you don't, you'll never score any points. You have to get them from your domain down in your Elysium and build them in legends.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the thing about it is that each legend is either built upon a family or a level. And you either group them together based upon a level 2s, or you're going to say, hey, I've got the 1, 2, 3 of the Hermes, and you create a family level. One or the other, okay? There are certain cards that will only activate that as long as they're in your Elysium, and those are like in-game scoring cards. So regardless, if you don't get them down there, you're not going to score points, but then there are some cards that are even more valuable to try to get in your Elysium as quick as you can.
Well, let's get down to it.
To business!
I have to say,
Buns.
Elysium really reminds me of Deus, and I can't really describe why. But Deus is our game of the year, and I gotta say, the complexity and the uniqueness of this game really reminds me of it. I feel like it's got the Euro thing going on. The columns kind of remind me of a worker placement game, even though that's not really what you're doing.
No, I can feel you on that.
It has an engine building feel to it because the cards in your domain give you actions.
Let me stop you right there, because you're saying engine building, you're saying Euro. This is the same publisher that published Splendor, which happened to be the Golden Geek, you know, game of the year. So how would you compare the two together? I mean, do you feel like
they do both involve set collecting. They do both involve engine building, kind of. This one is not as so much in engine building, but I would have to say it doesn't make me think of Splendor at all. But even though they're set collecting, this game, it has so much more complexity to it, whereas Splendor is just set collecting.
It's more vanilla.
Exactly.
This one's more deep.
This one is much more involved.
And it's more interactive.
It has more of a Euro feel. To me, I mean, I know that Splender's called a Euro game, but it's so simple. I mean, I love it, but it's so simple compared to this game. I really wouldn't compare the two.
Yeah, yeah. And just my thoughts would be that everybody complains that Splendor is just it's solitaire basically. That I'm doing my own thing. Really, what you do is not going to necessarily impact me. That's not the case in this game. There's a lot of ways you impact your opponents. Whether it's through cards or it's even just trying to, muscle them out of colors.
And Splendor, the only way you impact your opponents is if you take what they need.
Exactly, exactly. So, my thoughts is that I gotta say, this game has really grown on me, man. Wow! I mean, I find once a game is completed, I am just eager to set it up and play again. The thing that I find amazing, I wrote down all my thoughts here. I don't want to miss anything, so I might be looking down. The thing that I find amazing is that one simple change can really have a huge impact on one game to the next. Removing just one God family deck set of cards, okay, and inserting another or a different one can dramatically change one game from the next. Now, Poseidon is all about, direct confrontation. I mean, he is either forcing your opponent to discard gold, cards, victory points. He's always in your face. He's one of the most annoying gods that you could play.
One of the most fun gods to collect.
He is, but he is a lot of fun because if you want that interaction, Poseidon is probably the most highly interactive. Next to Athena, who, once again, Poseidon's all about, I'm coming after you, and I'm going to take stuff from you. Athena's all about, hey, I'm getting a little something, I'm going to give you a little something as well. I'm getting a VP and a gold, and baby, why don't you get yourself a VP and a gold as well? Then that's cool as well. So if you want to be a little bit more friendly, play with Athena. If you want to be mean, you play with Poseidon. Then you've got Hermes, what's neat about him is that he just fits the trickster god so well because he lets you activate cards that have normally already been exhausted. Well, you get to activate them again. And that really sets your opponent back because, oh man, there's so many times when I've seen that, like, my opponent has activated a card and I'm like, whew, glad that's over with. Oh crap, they got the Hermes card. Now it's probably going to activate again, and I'm going to have to go through all that terror I just went through a minute ago. Probably Poseidon going to destroy more of my cards. But Apollo just totally changes the dynamics because he brings the Oracle into play. The Oracle is kind of like a peek into the future, but it's not just that. Sometimes you can reach into the future and pull some of them cards to the present. That is a major, major function of the Apollo deck. Changes the game dramatically. Then think about Aries. I'm not going to go on about each god, but Aries will be the last one I'll talk about. He brings prestige points into play. And this is a big deal because if you do not collect any...
An entire different aspect of the game right there.
And if you don't collect any of these prestige points, you just lost like 16 points. Your opponent gets 16 points and you get 0. That's make or break the game right there. But the point I'm really trying to make is that the replay value is just so high. One game to the next is so different. It's so fun. It's so beautiful to look at. It's super fun to play and easy really to teach. It's one of those ones that, I'm going to just say it. I've reviewed only one game so far this year, and that was Fallen by Watchtower Games. And I've already put that into the Game of the Year category. This is the #2 game that I'm going to put into that category that has the potential for Game of the Year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I compared it to Deus. I mean, so yeah. Definitely.
And I know I rambled quite a bit, but I want you guys to understand, I really like this one, and I think you probably will too. But the thing is, we don't ever want you to take our opinion for it. What do we want them to do?
We want you to watch our live play and make up your mind for yourself.
That's right. Check that out, and it'll give you a great feel on how this game plays in artificial or fake time.
In real time.
In real time, baby.
We hope you enjoyed this review, and after you check out our live play, you should also watch someone else's live play.
Dad vs. Daughter did a live play as well, and they do Dad vs. Daughter playthrough. They're on YouTube, and check out their live play because they used a whole different set of gods, and you're really going to see just how different this game changes up based upon which gods you are playing with. And as usual, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.